Hey, it's Charlie at Charlie Slybox, and Max wanted me to pick 5 foam flies for summer. So I, of course, went over and picked out 9 because
Thank you, Charlie.
I just like to do that.
Thank you,
There's no
Charlie.
reason to limit yourself. Why would you limit yourself
Nope.
to 5 flies?
Because
in any instance whatsoever.
especially when you're not editing the
We
photos
just
of the
went through my
flies
fly
into
boxes,
the video,
and there's
it's very
5 flies in each compartment.
very easy. Do you like fishing foam flies?
I do like fishing foam
What
flies.
is fun about fishing foam flies?
Foam flies are generally way less maintenance.
Yes.
They float very well. You don't have to mess with them all day long. They don't get saturated and soaked and slimed as easily as, conventional, more traditional patterns. And I think everybody else in the world feels that way also. That's why they've become so popular. There's a ton of different foam stuff, from generally speaking bigger stuff, although there's a lot more small stuff kind of coming around these days with foam on them.
I think it's just silly to watch a fish just come up and...
Oh, it is. Yeah,
it's just the best.
Yeah, just balloon animals. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Just pool toys.
Yeah, balloon animals. I never thought about that.
Balloon animals. Yeah. There's no reason not to fish them. And honestly, like out of this bunch that I've tied, a lot of them, the first one that I'll talk about is a chubby, which has always been a fly that's been offensive to me. But that is a fly that everybody has, and if you don't have it, you should have it. That is a super buoyant, great dry dropper foam fly.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I remember the first time I saw a chubby was on the Rio.
Look at that.
Like when they first came out, and I was like, huh. They eat that, huh? I was like, they don't eat that. Like, that's a dry... Nope, they eat it. And it's been proven to me a million times. My wife loves to fish this. She calls it a mallow, like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
It
was proven to me with the golden stones in a certain place.
Eat the tar out of it.
Last year, where I thought I was going to show up with my fancy little flies, and I was going to catch them way better. I thought, hey, if you're catching them on chubbies, I'm going to show up with some good stuff, and I'm really going to get them.
Rip them.
And guess what? They only ate the chubby.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this fly. I mean, it's a pretty narrow silhouette from the bottom, super visible, super floaty. It really is a fly that you can fish one.
There's something about that white wing too. The way that there has to be something about it.
Yeah. I don't know why it works.
But man, it works, and people love that fly.
You should have some. Tan is a great color. This is like tan size 10, pretty standard issue around these parts. That'll float just about anything you'd want to put underneath it. And if you're a tyer, that's awfully easy to tie.
Got to be in your box.
Has to be. You should have a bunch of those. I do have a chubby box.
No, you
It's
don't.
this big. I shit you not. And I hardly ever dig into it.
I was going to say.
Lisa does all the time. But
oh, you tied it for her. That's real love right there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I
figured if she's going to be freaking fishing, she better at least be fishing a fly tied.
For sure.
Even if it's a mallow.
A mallow.
So you should have some mallows in your box. What else? Next, probably most popular foam fly, right behind the chubby, would be an Amy's Ant. This is a Jack Dennis fly, and meant to imitate a stonefly, but can cross for a hopper, can cross for a stone, can cross for whatever the heck. It's not an ant at all.
No.
In any way, shape, or form. Pretty flashy bug. It's got a sparkle chenille body, got a little trimmed hackle on it. It's got 2 layers of foam and some elk hair, so pretty buoyant. 2 sets of double rubber legs, so lots of legs on it. This has become super popular on the Platte due to old Pat Dorsey fishing it in a dry dropper rig. It does sit low, which maybe is the thing that makes it work so well. It sits, it's a foam fly, but it sits low on the water. There's not a lot to sit it up and make a big high profile. So a little more subtle than a chub.
When I think of the phrase bin appeal,
Yeah,
I think of the Amy's Ant.
Yep.
That thing just looks...
It's an interesting fly to tie, too.
You just want to pick it up. You want to look at it. You want to grab it. You want to fish it. You want to have it in your box.
Sparkly, yeah.
Kind of looks like a pool toy, like
A little counterintuitive. Andrew Grillos actually has a foam fly called a pool toy.
Ooh.
So
nice.
That name's already been taken, but we're talking collectively. What else we got in here? Speaking of Andrew Grillos, Dancin Ricky. This is a little stonefly cricket general terrestrial bug. This one's black. It comes in a bunch of different colors. Knotted legs, kind of a complicated tie. Cool fly, lots of foam on it. Foam shell back over the body, foam underwing, double foam over wings, foam thorax, foam indicator.
That's an arts and crafts thing.
That is
right
an arts and crafts fly for sure. But pretty damn buggy, all said and done.
Dude, Grillos,
He's got a lot of good stuff.
yeah, he's got really good stuff.
He does.
Foam master.
Yeah, a lot of this big kind of foamy, crazy stuff. And the cool thing is this fly comes down to a 14, I think, 14 or 16.
Really?
Yeah, it comes pretty small. We've got them as small as they go. I want to say it's 14.
Huh.
But yeah, that's a cool little one too. And in all of these come in different colors, obviously, so you should have some of each color because that's just what we do. Dancin.
Thing's really interesting. That's a really interesting fly.
Yeah, I like those knotted legs that point down. They kind of stick through the water.
I like how the top is kind of detached from the bottom.
Yep.
But it's not really extended body.
Yeah,
like
it's just the way it sits on the water.
Yeah.
That's fly design there.
That's very interesting.
Oh, Andrew nailed that one. I thought I do have another Andrew fly right here. This is a Hippie Stomper, which is sort of a foam humpy, which is an obvious way to go with a humpy because a humpy doesn't hold together that well. But sort of a foam humpy with a little lip at the front, yarn wings, so it's super, kind of using chubby parts in a different configuration, a little hackle on there. Great small stream dry dropper fly, or just a dry fly by itself. A couple little rubber legs on there. We've got a video of that one too. That was a fun fly to tie. That is a great little summertime fly. That can be a beetle. It could be an ant. It could, a big carpenter ant, termite, any sort of variety of bugs. And again, comes in a pile of sizes.
It's a very popular fly. I think that's a fly, if there's a lot of people, if you polled them as they walk through the store, that would be in their top 10 or their top 5.
Yeah, I would bet that's true. Yeah, and very recognizable name. Yep. Everybody asked for that one.
Yep.
Tim's Hopper. We've talked about this before somewhere along the way. Tim's Hopper is sort of a old school take on a foam hopper. It's got kind of like a Dave's Hopper or Joe's Hopper style body underneath a double foam layer with a foam indicator. And, all these flies have something in common. They've got little rubber legs on them. Whether they've got a wing on top or not is maybe the delineator there. Wings, no wings. The wing definitely makes the fly easier to see, does add some float to it, but sometimes you need a fly that sits a little lower on the water. You still don't want to maintain it constantly, especially wade fishing, something a little more subtle. If you're the 5th boat down the run, or if you're the 10th guy up the run, maybe not throw the same thing that everybody else is throwing, throw something a little bit more subtle. I've always liked Tim's flies. They're just sort of I don't want to say basic, but guide flies.
Yep.
Not anything more on them than needs to be, but really well done. Well
you can tell he's a highly fishy dude.
Yep.
I think Trace was telling me that he was on a Black Canyon trip that he was on, and he watched him lose like hook, fight, and lose like a 25, 26-inch rainbow, and he said he was shockingly unfazed by it. And you were just like, that's how you know that guy's been getting them for a long time.
Yeah.
Like it's just
like,
just didn't matter.
Another 2-footer, whatever. Jerk. What else we got? Henry's Fork Foam Stone. This comes in a salmon fly and a golden stone version. The golden stone version is an all summer fly. That could cross for a hopper. Chubby-esque for sure.
For sure. We got to do a video on the original. That was talked about in the Flies for June.
We do. So the original is a completely different fly.
Yeah, and I want to see it.
It's a bullet head fly.
Yeah.
I think we actually have some up there.
Really? Like buried in the bottom of the bin?
Yeah, something almost, or pretty darn close to it anyway. I'll show you. I just saw it. This is a more subtle version, though, of a chub. So again, if you're the 10th guy up the run, maybe something a little more subtle. But this is a lot more realistic and actually pretty close to a golden stone.
Yeah, it's good.
Which also crosses over very nicely for a hopper. Tied real close, one extra step in there.
Different color palette?
Different color palette. Really, just one extra step. It's got a little kind of shell, so it's got 2 colors, a bicolor body on it. That'd be a great fly to just kind of keep in your box and use for everything that you'd use a chubby for. But you should still have chubbies. Stubby Chubby.
I love that thing.
Easy. You got all excited.
I did. That thing goes.
Tiny little chubby. What could be better than a chubby? A tiny little chubby.
A tiny chubby.
This is a single wing instead of double wing on a normal chubby. Single wing, tied on the Stubby T hook from Umpqua, which is a sort of sharp bend, square bend hook. So it's got a big wide gap on it. Little hot spot under the butt end on it. This one's purple. Comes in a bunch of colors. Everything tied proportionally for a smaller size fly. It's not just a tied down chubby. It's a much smaller chubby tied on a shorter hook. General terrestrial, ant, beetle, food in general,
Yep.
and still buoyant enough to float a dropper if you're going to hang a dropper under it, and a reasonably sized dropper. You don't have to be on a size 20.
Yep.
That'll get the job done, and it's subtle.
And that thing goes down to an 18.
Yeah.
Nate on the Ark turned
Yep.
me onto those, and
Yep.
I was kind of anti at the beginning.
Yeah,
but
charfish this a bunch. Yeah.
yes, and I think he had him. I think
Yeah,
he had
Nate-
us fishing a double,
Yeah.
like a 16, 2, and 18 in
Yep.
like 2 different colors, and
They eat it.
they eat it really
Yep.
good, and it just
Well,
floats
it's-
really good.
it's
Great boat fly, great
Different,
second
different
boat fly.
enough from what everybody else is throwing.
Yep.
You know, not the same old big thing. Same old thing, kind of.
Yep.
Much smaller and scaled down. That's got, you know, when I look at this, it doesn't give me like that looks like a bug. When I look at this, that looks like a bug.
Yep.
I think it does.
Great creek fly.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
that could be the only
absolutely.
creek dry in your box
Yeah.
for a summer,
Yep.
and you'd be totally
Yeah, you
fine.
can put a dozen of these in a cup and put them in your pocket and go. Get it done. And finally, this is probably the oldest foam fly up here. Oh, hang on, I still got one more.
Uh-oh.
But we're going to get to it in a minute. The oldest foam fly is the old Puterbaugh foam caddis. So this is a fluttering caddis. So a hackle collar, elk hair wing, and foam for the body, which makes perfect sense because when you're really getting them, you want a fly that you can kind of keep dry and not have to maintain so constantly.
I still haven't fished that thing.
This is a great
should,
fly. This has
yeah.
been around since I was a kid.
I got a tie dozen of those. Put them in the box.
They're super quick, super easy. Time and tan, yellow, olive, black, all those colors. I probably fish black more than anything. And again, super fast, super easy. That one's been around a long time. That's a great little creek fly. If you've got fish eating caddis in a big caddis hatch, oversized one
Yeah,
size, and
yeah.
throw that out there, feed it to them. Old Don Puterbaugh. And
That is
finally,
a good little trick when fish are eating heavy in those hatches.
Bigger
I
fly.
learned that last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
upsize.
Well, what you don't want to be, if you have 8 million real bugs on the water, is you don't want to be 8 million and one.
Yeah.
You need something to stick out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why they eat a chubby during a caddis hatch because it sticks out.
Yep.
I don't know if they think it's a cluster of them or they're just already looking up there.
Yep.
And we'll eat that too.
I remember it was on the Eagle. It was during those Sally hatches that I couldn't figure out on the Eagle.
Hmm.
I asked Brian because he'd been fishing up there, and I won't say the exact. Sure, Amber, just right through the video. Why not?
I'm so sorry.
Of course.
Oh, we're gonna.
But yeah, he was fishing. I won't say the pattern name, but he was fishing like a size 12 old school fly during those hatches. He was like, I have no clue why they eat it, but they do,
long as
and
they
I
keep
think it's
eating it.
just because it's different.
Yep.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
just
So,
sticks out.
Yep.
Just not the same thing they've seen. I used to fish during the caddis hatch on the Arkansas a Turk's tarantula. Size 10 Turk's tarantula, and they ate it real well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Didn't look
interesting.
anything like a caddis.
And
but
I think this time of year, it's just an important note. Like, we go through maybe the better part of 3 seasons in Colorado, always shifting down, downsizing. If something's
Sure.
going wrong, I'm
Sure.
going to fish smaller. I'm going to
Yep.
fish smaller. This time of year, like you can't not try bigger.
well,
also.
and there's
I'm always telling
such a
myself
variety
that.
of bugs on the water
Yeah.
right now.
And sometimes you could be fishing a size 16 caddis, not getting a lot of looks, and you put on something like this,
Yes.
and all of a sudden it turns on.
Yep. They're looking.
Yep.
Max
Last
said
but not least.
I could pick out my 5 foam flies, but none of them could be mine. Which
No, I said they all couldn't be yours.
oh, I thought you said none of them. Well, I've only picked one, and
Wow.
I've picked a lucky bee because it's summertime and now's the time to fish this. I think that's one of the most fun flies to fish. Of course, beetles are fun. We've talked about those a lot before.
Yep.
Beetles and ants are fun. This is an extra terrestrial to have in your box. This is a yellow jacket, and they get eaten. They're out and about. I just had a big yellow jacket nest in my milk box.
Lovely.
My milkman just left my milk on the porch, and for 2 weeks in a row, we couldn't figure out why. And then he left a note and said, "There's a hornet's nest in your milk box."
Huh.
And I said, "Well,
You have a milkman?
of course I do. How do you get your milk?
You're just
Go to
living in
the-
a whole
you
different world.
Go to the store like a poor, don't
Like,
you?
apparently.
So Lucky Bee, that's a fun fly. They are 100% fooled by it. It hasn't worn off yet. That's still a fly that you should fish. Any time right now. You could go just fish this all day.
100%.
Not great for a dry dropper. It sits very low in the water. It's a little hard to see sometimes. One thing I usually do is pull those wings up and give them a little twist so they've got a little more height to them. Makes that a little easier to see. But that's a dead-on ringer for that bug, and you may not think fish eat them until you throw this in the water. They know what it is, and they eat it. So there are my 9 5 flies made of foam for summer. You got anything to add? Did I miss anything? Did I miss your favorite? Besides all of mine?
I don't know. I don't know what my favorite is. I would say out of that, the Hippie Stomper.
Hippie Stomper?
Love the Hippie
Yeah.
Stomper. Absolutely love that thing.
Fat Angie, of course.
Yep.
Mr. Jones. I mean, there's other things we could mention. We'll keep it to 9. I didn't want to.
No, I think that was perfect.
I think that'll be good. Amber, come back over here.
My bad.
Come over and apologize.
Yeah, come say. Give her the microphone.
I'm so sorry. My bad, guys.
New shit in the shop is Amber.
Just working hard.
Somebody's got to.
Get back to it.
Somebody's got to.
That's what we got for you. Hope you enjoyed it.